Finn Doyle. I never expected the Irish mobster to show up in my office, nor did I particularly want him there. I wanted to put Morrigan Doyle and her Ponzi scheme far behind me. It had been one hell of a case, and I had no intention of getting involved any further with her family. "Look, Harry, I don't expect you to like me," Finn grunted, placing his large hands on his knees. I'm not usually one to pay attention to someone's hands, but this man's were larger than most and covered in long, jagged scars. I don't even want to know what caused those, I thought. I'm not taking any new cases right now, I said, which was the truth. I rarely offered my services to anyone unless they were Kate Gazzara. Most of the time, the people who came to us seeking help came by referral, and then we were picky about the ones we took. But it was more than that. I did not want to get involved with another Doyle.
"Ah, but see, now this is different," Finn said earnestly in his thick Irish accent, digging into the pocket of his leather jacket. "This is something personal to me." He pulled out a worn leather wallet and then fished out a picture. "This is me friend, Matteo Rossi."
I watched the crinkled photograph as he slid it across my desk. I scrutinized the young man in the photo. There was nothing about him that was out of the ordinary. He had dark, chocolate-colored hair and matching eyes. A light shading of facial hair graced a square jaw, and though the picture was only from his shoulders up, I could tell by the thick neck he was a brute of a man, probably a gem rat, and he had the look of Italian descent about him. "He's a good friend of mine," Doyle continued, "and he's been missing for nearly a month." He tapped the picture. I looked up at him. "I just want to find him and make sure he's okay. He's got a family, so he has. His kid needs him, Harry." I pursed my lips, waiting on my gut feeling to tell me one thing or the other, but it stayed quiet. Finn appeared to be genuine, but there were plenty of people who appeared to be a lot of things they were not, and so I decided to give him a chance. "Lay it out for me, Mr. Doyle." The man's face brightened. "All right, then, so I will. Well, you see, his girlfriend, Catherine, she said he didn't come home a month ago today, so July 27th would be the date." I nodded, grabbing a pen and notepad and scribbling down the date, even though I wasn't planning to take the case, especially as it was an obviously iffy missing person case. I also make a point to write down information I don't need versus not writing down something I might need later. Sounds a bit convoluted, doesn't it? But I'm sure you get the idea. "He didn't show up for a meeting we had planned last Friday either," Finn continued, leaning back and folding his arms across his chest. "And that's not like him. He always shows up. He's a punctual kind of guy. And that's when I really began to worry." You don't think he just needed a break? People do that, you know. It was a countercard everyone in law enforcement had said many times, and it was something every person who reported a missing person, other than a young child, had heard. The irritation showed on Finn Doyle's face. "I think you'd be the kind of investigator that didn't play off a man's worry wanting to search for his friend." "What about his family?" I ignored the jab. "Why hasn't his family reported him missing?" Finn's upper lip twitched. "Because maybe they don't have the funds to fly to Chattanooga to speak with a private investigator that may or may not even take the case. Not everyone has such wealth at their fingertips." I narrowed my eyes at his cheeky response.